Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Crown Point High School as the Region Sports Network presents live video coverage of Indiana High School girls basketball as the Hammond Central Wolves come into town to take on the Crown Point Bulldogs. Michael Brenner here on site, bringing you all the action here from Crown Point. You can see Hammond Central warming up on the court there. They're getting ready to go. Just a couple of minutes until we kick this one off here in the Hub City. Crown Point was warming up. They're in the back now, getting one final pep talk from Coach Stengel. Should be a good one here. You got Hammond Central coming in 1-3 on the year. Kind of a tough schedule to get things started up, though. Had to play in a tournament over at Lake Central to start things up. Got a win at Kankakee Valley before that got started, though, and then had to take on Fort Wayne, Snyder, and Lake Central. Close contest against the Indians, though, and then a fairly close contest against Snyder as well. But that tournament, you want things like that to get your season started, kind of, figure out where you're at early on in the season, what you need to start working and building on. But the gauntlet will continue as Hammond Central here at Crown Point tonight, and then they will take on East Chicago Central on the 20th as well. So never an easy schedule as you continue to move on down the season. And then before you know it, we're in conference play. That's that matchup against East Chicago as well in the Great Lakes Conference. So starting conference play already for the Hammond Central Wolves, and meanwhile for the Crown Point Bulldogs, first-year coach Stengel, 2-0 to start the year. They also have played KV, got the win over there, they got the win over at Bishop Knoll as well. They'll take on the Andrean 59ers on Tuesday evening, so kind of a different schedule at that point, but then they're going to have the gauntlet of the Duneland Athletic Conference as well before you know it. Not until November 25th when they see their first conference opponent against the LaPorte Slicers. But we are just moments away from the tip-off here between Crown Point and Hammond Central. Region Sports got its basketball slate kicked off yesterday in that matchup between Portage and Hanover Central. Yours truly, along with Jay Simmons, on the call for that one. Good way to get the season kicked off. We saw a little bit of everything in that contest there. We saw, free throws before the game actually started. We saw the wedge shot, if you will. We saw officials get hit with a basketball while in play, so the ball continued. We saw a little bit of everything that you normally, sometimes some things that you don't normally see in a basketball game or might see every once in a while. We saw it all last night, which is interesting. It keeps you on your toes. Makes you remember every little nuance of the game that can happen, and that makes the game so much more fun. More layup blinds here for the Crown Point Bulldogs as well as they have hit the floor as we are just moments away. Probably going to kick things off a little bit earlier than normal just because of the quickness of the JV game that took place just a little bit ago. So we'll bring in the starting lineups in the national anthem here in just a moment. But before we do that, we're going to step aside. You are watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities until everyone has a reason to smile. Stratton Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school?
consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Wonderful rendition of the national anthem, as always. So we are just about set for tip-off here at Crown Point, and we'll have the starters introduced in just a moment. They will start with the Hammond Central Wolves. So first out onto the floor, the 5'9" senior, number 13, Layla Hart. We've also got number 11, Adrian McGee, the 5'9" junior, followed by the 5'8" junior, number 21, Alicia Biddle. Then you've got the 5'11" senior, number 23, India Hutchinson. And then the 5'10" senior, number 34, Sonora Span. And we'll take a look at the intro video here in just a moment as the Crown Point Bulldogs will be introduced. That's one of the things that a lot of these schools are starting to do now, these little intro videos. We saw a nice intro video just a little bit ago, kind of referring to the history of kind of Crown Point basketball a little bit, maybe recapping some of those state championships from the mid-'80s. And then, of course, back in 2021, Crown Point Lady Bulldogs getting that state championship down in Indianapolis. So checking out the bench right now as the video intro being played here. We'll give you those starting lineups for Crown Point here in just a moment. Starting to see, like I mentioned, we're starting to see these videos in a lot of different places. Just really cool for these athletes. And they're getting full tilt media days at this point. All right, we are ready to introduce the Crown Point Bulldogs. It is, I believe it's AAU night as well. A lot of the youngsters that are going to be coming into the program in the future. As first out onto the floor, the 5'11" junior, number 30, Ava Punick. Along with number 10, the 5'7" sophomore, Sydney Hale. And then number 50, the 6'4" junior, Ivy Henderson. Along with number 24, Addison Seibert, the 5'8" sophomore. And then the 5'7" sophomore, number 22, Ava Ritchie. Our officials for this evening, Jimmy Nelson, Mike King, and Ron Miller. Good officiating crew tonight. So we are just about set for tip. Here from Crown Point High School, you can see the Crown Point girls. They're excited for this one to get this thing tipped up here. Hammond Central making their way out onto the floor. Let's go ahead and bring you our game night forecast by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. It is a very comfortable 58 degrees, clear skies ahead here in the Hub City. So that is your game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. And we are tipped up. Ball controlled by Hammond Central, and it's stolen away early by Crown Point, and up and in for an early bucket for Ava Punick. So an early steal and an early bucket to get things going for the Bulldogs. McGee hands it off to Span there. Hutchinson on the drive, had it picked off though. Crown Point pushing the tempo quickly here to get things going. That was Ava Ritchie, gives it up into the corner to Hale for three. Dumping it back off to Punick, and now back to Ava Ritchie, the sophomore for this Crown Point team. Sorry, that was Ava Ritchie. Beg your pardon. Feeding the cut to Henderson. We'll have a push. You're in an early foul call. So Alicia Biddle called for the first foul of the game. Feed right underneath, a little too strong off the backboard for Punick. So still a 2-0 game, officially a minute into this one as Hutchinson kicks off into the corner. Hart gives it up off the glass there, trying to make the points here. As this one picked off on the pass to Hutchinson. Up, trying to block, can't get it to go. Gets it right back, though, and in. Looked like Sydney Hale on that one. It was. So Sydney Hale in the scoring column, and just like that, 2-0. I'm sorry, 4-0 for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Hutchinson with the shot, no good. Trying for the rebound. Span was there, couldn't control it. This one picked off, the ball out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Bulldogs. Hart giving her effort there. Good defense there for Hart. Seibert will inbound. Trying to find Ritchie near side. Gives it up to Henderson. Seibert in the corner for three. Just off the mark. Rebound comes down to Crown Point, though, in Punick. Punick with a skip pass into the corner. Out to Ritchie, long-range three. They're going to say no basket. They're going to say an offensive foul against Crown Point. And they're going to say Sydney Hale picked up that foul there. So first of the quarter, and Coach Stengel going to plead his case, saying, I didn't see the same thing you did. So Hutchinson going to try to slow this pace down a little bit here, trying to get her team cut the deficit down a little bit. Span with it now, feeding into the corner. McGee now driving this one, tipped from behind on the shot going up for that was Biddle. So Biddle will inbound here. Waiting for some movement here. It's a little box, and they're going to say 5 seconds. Took a little too long to get that inbound pass in. It's one thing when you're working on these kind of inbound things in practice, as Hammond Central picking up full court press. Give here, Hale puts it up off the window, no good. Ball going to stay down here. They're going to say it's off Hammond Central. 5:38 to go in the opening quarter. Seibert again to inbound. This one picked off by Hart. Hart read that play as they were trying to feed it to Hale in the far corner. But Layla Hart said, no, you don't. Not going to let you have that. Hammond Central won this game last year 49-45, so it was a tight ball game. Give in to Hale here, now to Ritchie. McGee all over Ritchie, trying to make it uncomfortable for her, not let her be a scoring threat. Help defense trying to catch up to it there. Good efforts there from Hammond Central, trying to shut down Ritchie. They're getting in those passing lanes, intercepting that one. This one just stolen away. So McGee now dishes it out left side, trying to put this one down. Can't get it to go. Rebound comes down to Crown Point. Ritchie trying to get in the scoring column. Can't get the roll off the shot. Steps out beyond the three-point arc here in the corner. Seibert trying to feed down low, kicking it back out to Hale. This one stopped by Hutchinson. She gets swarmed, but she makes her way through, meets the contact, and we're going to see a charge issued against Hammond Central there. So that foul will be against India Hutchinson. So they thought about the full court press. They pulled that off. They're going to pick up at half court here with Ritchie. Dribbling at half court, driving to her right, stopping, dishing it into the corner with Seibert. Going to drive here, Punick. Giving it up to Menchaca. This is Amaya Menchaca. She'll try to put all the defense on there. That's one thing is Hammond Central is forcing turnovers. Here's the give here on the near side. Up and in for Hutchinson. First points of the game for Hammond Central. So cuts the deficit in half. 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Given to the corner. Menchaca for three. Hits off the top there, but it goes on the top of the basket. So they will turn that one over. It'll be Hammond ball. One thing that Hammond has been doing well so far is anticipating those passing lanes, getting in those passing lanes, and forcing turnovers, which is upsetting the rhythm of Crown Point early on here. So kind of holding the ball here, waiting for someone to come out and defend her. No count is on at the moment. Enough space given. Span skips it. Driving inside the paint, spinning, and it's going to be deflected off of McGee. Wasn't anticipating that pass from Hart. Skip pass to the wing, back to Ritchie now at the top of the key. A lot of excitement about Ava Ritchie and her game, even just as a sophomore. Blocked up top, they're going to say, staying here with Crown Point. Trying to feed it right underneath the basket. This one out of bounds, and they're going to say that it's going to stay here with Crown Point. And they'll feed it to Ritchie out beyond the three-point arc. Punick drives this one, stolen away by Hutchinson, and Hutchinson up off the window, ties the game. So Crown Point and Hammond Central already in a close battle early on, trying to feed down low to Henderson. Henderson with a little spin move there, kicks it out. Drive by Punick inside the lane, throws one up, and we're going to have a foul call. Punick making her way up. The foul is going to be on Span, her first of the game. This is already the third of the quarter, though, with 2:31 to go. And if you haven't watched a lot of Indiana high school basketball the last couple years, you may have forgotten the fact that at 5 fouls in a quarter, then there is free throws that will be thrown, an automatic 2. It's not a 1-and-1 situation anymore. So we will keep it here on the Region Sports Network. As a reminder, we will have our awards we're going to hand out at the end of this one. We've got the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. We've also got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Vern Wayler with Boilermakers Local 374. And then the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. So it'll be Ava Punick to the line. Shoot a pair, knocks down the first. One foul for Crown Point in this one, just for Sydney Hale. Second free throw is no good, so that makes it a 5-4 game. Crown Point up by 1. Hutchinson with the stop and the pop, and can't get that one to fall. So it'll be a turnover here, and Crown Point will take over. Sophie Hart will check into the game as Ava Punick steps off the floor. We'll have another switch here. I believe it is Brianna Gritch checking into the game. Yep. So a little full court press here, trying to feed this one down. This one to Menchaca. Bucket no good. Hutchinson down the floor, trying to force her way into the paint. Kicks this one out, though, to Spann. Spann over to McGee. 3-ball off the mark there for Hart. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Ritchie from the left wing. Dribbles left hand, then between the legs. Now dishing this one off to Hart. Now into the corner, back to Hart here. Just outside the lane, trying to feed that one into Henderson. Henderson says, I wasn't totally ready for that pass yet, so still a slight bit of communication. They'll talk about it, fix it. So Hammond Central with Biddle inbounding. Give it to McGee here. Trying to get across the timeline. Hart trying to direct some traffic there, trying to tell Hutchinson, I need you right here to pass it to you. A lot of pressure in her face. And Spann makes her with a Hutchinson. Trying to drive into the lane, and that's going to be a walk. Thought she kept her pivot foot down. Officials say differently. Looking for an open shot somewhere, and we will have a lane violation. Too many seconds in the lane, and that may have been Aaliyah Menchaca. They said too many seconds in the lane there, so turnover for Crown Point. That's one thing we didn't have in the game yesterday. We did have some lane violations going over the line too early in our game last night. Didn't have any, this one picked off on top. Ritchie stops, turns, tries to feed it down. Throwing this one in the corner. We'll have a foul, though. Oh, nope, they're just going to say out of bounds. Hart had it there and then trying to dish it off ahead here by McGee, but it gets swatted away. So Hammond Central will inbound again. Happy to have you with us here on a Saturday evening. Little high school hoops here for you. Zach Zanelli working alongside, doing the production, doing a fine job. Speaking of a fine job, feeding up to Ava Ritchie, who floats it up with the left hand and is able to get that one down. Ava Ritchie with her first points of the game. Now a steal here for Crown Point. Now intercepted again. Ball loose on the ground. Hammond Central has control. And they're going to say that Hammond had control, so Hammond was calling for the timeout. They said she had control, so it'll be Hammond. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Good timeout taken by Coach Kermil. In her 5th season here at Hammond Center, her 10th year overall coaching here in Indiana. 23.5 seconds to go. Mayor Pete Land of the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Open skate returns to Timothy Grish Ice Rink at Bulldog Park on Friday, November 28th, weather permitting. For a complete schedule of hours, visit crownpoint.in.gov. Trying to inbound this one here. Hutchinson down the far side of the floor, down to the final 20 seconds. We'll have a foul called here, though, with 19 seconds to go. The foul is going to be on 15. It's going to be Gritch. So Hutchinson going to inbound the ball here for the Wolves. They have 19 seconds to work with. Hart giving it up into the paint. Jumper from just inside the arc. Good for McGee. 7 seconds for Crown Point now. Trying to feed the middle. Ball controlled by Menchaca. Pulling this one up long range. It's no good for Gritch, and that is how the first quarter will come to an end. It is a 7-6 game. Tight one here in Crown Point. We're going to the second quarter. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Start of the second quarter here at Crown Point High School between Hammond Central and Crown Point here in the beautiful Hub City. 7-6 your score. Bulldogs on top to start things up here. Ritchie to start things up for Crown Point. Stopping at the free throw line, just a little too strong on the pass. She was trying to find Punic on that one. It's an early turnover. That's going to be the thing early on in a lot of these basketball games, just trying to get into the rhythm of things, so communication always going to be key. Just a little too strong on that pass there, so Hammond Central with their first possession of this second quarter. Biddle kicking it off to Hart. Hart at the top of the key. Looking for some kind of room there. This one going to be picked up by Hutchinson, and Stengel going to argue that ball wasn't tipped by his girls. We're going to have an offensive foul here against Hammond Central. It'll be their first of the quarter, and it's going to be the second against Span. Seibert was looking for someone to dump it down to. She finds Punick, and Punick gets the first bucket of the second quarter. So she's got 5 points on the game. Hutchinson pulling up for three, hitting the side of the iron, and there's going to be a battle underneath. We do have a whistle, and it's going to be against Hammond Central. And the foul is going to be against Hart. So her first of the game, second of the quarter already, just over a minute into this second quarter. Beat down to Henderson. Henderson around to Hale. Hale in the corner. Tries to dribble out. Give to Punick. Punick at the free throw line. Kicks this one out. Hale able to collect the ricochet. Ritchie. Long range three put up from Ritchie. Hits the back iron. Rebound comes down to Hart. Hart driving on that right side. Kicks it out. Hutchinson. Hutchinson wants to make some kind of room. She pulls up from three, hits the iron. Henderson comes down with the rebound. Ritchie will bring the ball up for Crown Point with a 9-6 advantage here. Just 2 minutes into this second quarter. Hale with the bounce pass into Punick, and they're going to say a walk. Certainly not the scoring affair that we saw last year. 49-45 was the final score of last year's matchup between these two schools. We can still hit that. Need to just a little bit more balls in the bucket, though, to get to that potential score here. And it would start with a nice feed from Ava Hutchinson here. India Hutchinson, excuse me. Hart with it here. Hart trying to find someone, is able to get McGee the ball handed off. McGee then to Biddle. Now turning it around to Hutchinson, but instead she feeds it down to Biddle down low. Nice feed there from Hutchinson. And Biddle gets in the scoring column here. Ritchie kicks this one out to Seibert for three in the corner. Henderson there for the cleanup and gets fouled on her way up, so it'll be another Hammond foul here. Hutchinson picks up her her second foul, so her second, team's third of the quarter. Henderson will go to the line to shoot two. First one, no good, so still looking for those first points of the game. She'll take a point at this point. Rich checks back into the game for the Bulldogs. Hammond Central will bring it left to right on your screen, trying to feed it down to Biddle again. Nice move by Hutchinson. Biddle trying to throw that one up, can't get it to go. Rebound comes down to Crown Point. They're coming right to left on the screen. Picked off. Hart. Hart going to take it herself, up off the window, no whistle. Half the Hammond section is screaming for a whistle. Don't get one there. Rebound comes down to Hale, and then Hale gets hit from behind, and it'll be an and one. So Hale picks up her 4th point, looking for her 5th here in just a moment. The foul going to be and one opportunity there, no good for Hale. Ball loose on the ground, though. Henderson is able to corral it and put it back home. So Henderson picks up her 1st points of the game. Hammond Central able to get right back down and score. So 13-10, still a tight ball game here. Do apologize. They are giving the foul to number 22, and I don't have that on the roster that we were given. So at the half, we'll go down and check and get you that name. So apologies for that, but picking up the 2nd foul. Hale the line, makes 2 of 2. So makes it a 15-10 ball game. Ball loose on the ground. Crown Point comes up with it, but Hutchinson gets in there. We're going to see a foul, and this might be against Hutchinson, which that would be a big foul because that would give her her 3rd if it is indeed. Yeah, that is her 3rd, and likely going to have to come out of the game. And I believe we have a technical foul that has just been issued against Hammond Central. Just trying to sort all this out here in this quarter, and the frustration continuing to mount for Hammond Central, thinking that they're kind of getting a lot more calls and called against them in this particular case. So we'll go to the line to shoot 2 here. This foul put up for Langhans is good. I don't believe these might be the technicals. Nope, those were not the technicals. These are going to be the technical fouls, and Ava Ritchie going to come in to shoot these. So Langhans was the one who was shooting because she got fouled. And now these are going to be the technical foul shots. And the coach gets to decide who shoots those. So Ava Ritchie will shoot those. And Crown Point will also get the basketball. It's Coach Stengel trying to organize his team here, figure things out. It's Crown Point making their way down the floor here. Ritchie with it. Kicking it into the corner with Cyber, feeding it down to Henderson, and Henderson gets that swatted from behind. But we do got 3:44 to go, so Hammond Central does have 5 fouls in the quarter, so that is something to keep an eye on as well. Any other fouls from this point on, Crown Point gets an automatic 2 free throws. Henderson giving it up to Gritch. Gritch with the shot, with the jump shot, and gets it to go. Hart trying to feed it off here. Into the corner with Hunter. Biddle putting up her shot, banks it home on the 3. So Biddle able to bank one in for 3. She'll take it. She's got 5 points here in this one of the 13 for Hammond. Ava Punick with that bucket there. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. 10-point game here for Crown Point early on. This one stolen away. Grish then had it poked from behind. Ball loose on the ground. Hart able to control here on that far side. Nope, sorry, that was McGee. We're going to have a whistle here. And as Hart is going up, so a foul here against Crown Point. And the foul is going to be against Seibert. Team foul number 1. This will send Adrian McGee to the line. Can't connect on the first. Again, we got awards we're going to hand out at the end of this matchup here tonight. We've got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. We've got the Boilermakers Local 375 Blue Collar Player of the Game. And then we've got the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. And free throw no good. Crown Point coming down with the rebound, bringing it back down in transition. Shot put up just off the mark on the three-point shot from Menchaca. We'll have another foul here against Crown Point. And the foul is going to be against Grish, and that'll be her second, team second of the quarter. So Biddle will inbound here for Hammond Central. 2:19 to go. Hey, 219, that's where we live, 219. Zach doesn't appreciate my jokes. Did that one, though, as Crown Point comes down with the rebound. Feeds it up to Ava Ritchie. She sees a lane ahead, puts it up, and puts it in. Ava Ritchie, 6 points here early on in this contest, here in this first half. McGee with $1:50 left to go in this contest. McGee loses it on the deck, tries to fight for it. We'll have a jump ball. The jump ball is going to favor Hammond Central, so we'll have an inbound underneath the basket here. Dish off into the corner. Driving baseline, trying to throw that one up. Won't be good, so 1:42 left to go in the first half. Trying to get around the full court press. Able to break that. Ritchie. Free throw line extended. Dribbling with the right hand. Dishes it off to Punick. Punick trying to feed it down low. We'll have a foul here. And the foul will be against Layla Hart. That'll be her second, but because we're at the 5 foul mark, these are automatic free throws for Crown Point at this point. So Ava Punick will shoot these. Sonora Span will check back in. It's looking like Henderson will check back in, but she's coming in for the free throw shooter. Hits the back iron, no good, but rebound comes down to Crown Point, so they'll try to control here and get another positive possession. Feeding at the baseline. Little contact here for Hart. Again, this will be another couple of free throws for Crown Point. Hart picks up her third of the game. throw good for Sophie Hart. (26-13) the final, or the total right here. And knocks down that second one, so 27-13 your score. Stolen away by Ritchie. Ritchie up, meets the contact, can't get that one to go. A lot of contact underneath as well. Going to push the ball ahead here. Lost the possession was McGee. Going to be a turnover for Hammond Central. 66 seconds to go in this opening contest, or this opening half. Feet ahead, drive, baseline, puts it up just over the rim for Grish. Crown Point collects it again, though. Trying to feed it to Henderson, who stops and pops and can't get that one to fall. A lot of contact underneath the basket here, a lot of jumping. Trying to come down and secure those rebounds. Who's going to want it more is the question. Foul is going to be on Menchaca. That's going to be Maya Menchaca, her first of the game. McGee driving to that right side, kicks it off Biddle. Biddle to Span. Now to the far side with Hunter. Hunter at the top of the key. Pulls up for three. Banks it in. Kennedy Hunter gets into the contest, into the scoring column. Big thanks to her mom, Simona, helping me out a little bit before the game started. We're going to have a backcourt violation for Henderson. So thank you, Simona Hunter, helping out, getting some good information for us. Trying to feed into the middle. Ball is going to be out of bounds with 4.8 seconds to go. Going to organize the inbound play here. Biddle will inbound. Kicks it right to Ava Ritchie. Ritchie pulls up from half court and can't get that one to fall, and the half will come to an end. And the score here at the half, 27-16. We'll step aside. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schragle, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you could reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in. Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Hi, my name is Mark Machnick. I'm the owner of Mark Machnick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. You know, it's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland, and ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports mainly because I get a lot of feedback, you know, especially on the high school level. A lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
Well, welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Happy to be with you on a Saturday evening. Halftime here at Crown Point High School between the Bulldogs and the Wolves of Hammond Central. 27-16 your score here at the half. We did get some clarity, and do apologize for this. I had Serenity Rowe down for number 1. She has changed to 22, so that answers the question of number 22 that we didn't have a number for, so we know that it is now Serenity Rowe. And then Addison Childress will have a different number. If she checks into the game, she'll wear 41 as opposed to 31, which is what I had. So just a little housekeeping stuff there for you, if you were wondering indeed, as we are, again, here at the half. About 90 seconds till we get kicked off here to start the second half. One of the things that's really kind of hindering Hammond Central right now is the foul trouble that they've gotten themselves into. They've got 2 players with 3 fouls and a plethora with 2. Obviously a smaller lineup in terms of not as deep on the bench, not as many players to go to, so a lot of these players are going to get good quality active minutes for sure, which is always a nice thing if you're one of the players that gets those minutes. So nothing wrong with that in general, but that does mean that if you do get into foul trouble, that limits what you can sub with out on the bench. So that's going to be one of the things that Coach is going to have to work with here, as Crown Point also not dealing with the same foul trouble issues, but they are definitely dealing with a turnover issue. They have turned the ball over quite a few times here this evening. Granted, they are still up on the scoreboard, but that's something that Coach Stengel and company will have to work on trying to clean up there, is trying to have a few less turnovers on their end, which won't capitalize to points down the road. Otherwise, it's been a pretty entertaining ball game so far. Certainly one that Hammond Central can claw their way back into, but got to stay out of the foul trouble here the rest of the contest, and continue to force those turnovers as well. Leading the way scoring-wise for Hammond Central is India Hutchinson, who just committed to Howard as well, or I should say just signed with Howard as well. So fun times for her. Layla Hart also signing with Lake Michigan College as well. One of the things that they were celebrating here this week. Alicia Biddle following with 5 points, had a big 3 in that second quarter. Leading the way for the Crown Point Bulldogs with 7 points. Ava Punick with 7, and a couple with 6 as well. Sydney Hale and Ava Ritchie. They are definitely spreading the wealth a little bit here. Feed down into Henderson to start the scoring in the second half, down at the baseline. So she gets the first points of the second half. McGee had this one picked off by Ritchie. Ritchie up and in And you see there, one of the players that has the 3 fouls is India Hutchinson. As much as she would probably like to be a little bit more aggressive on that one to try to stop Ritchie from going for the layup, knows that she cannot get another foul here. And we'll have a full timeout taken by Hammond Central, so we'll step aside. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ava, let's go.
Try it on.
The shortest distance between two people is a smile. That's why we're committed to fighting hunger in our communities until everyone has a reason to smile. Strack Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Mayor Pete Land and Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Open skate returns to Timothy Grish Ice Rink at Bulldog Park on Friday, November 28th, weather permitting. For a complete schedule of hours, visit crownpoint.in.gov. Jump shot for McGee, but they're going to say she walked with it before the shot. Coach Kermill taking that early timeout, but just trying to calm the players down a little bit. Want to make sure that they're in a good headspace here to start this second half. And you'll notice maybe she's sitting on the bench at the moment. It's because she got issued a technical earlier in the ballgame, so she has to sit the rest of the game. One of those interesting rules as Ritchie gets her second bucket of the second half and her 10th point of the game as well. One of those interesting rules, if a coach gets called for the technical, they have to sit on the bench the rest of the game. They cannot stand. Zach, I'm not going to lie, I would have a hard time with that. When I'm coaching, I like to stand and walk and pace. I like to pace. I'm having a hard time just sitting now. I want to get up and move a little bit here as McGee coming down the floor had her pocket picked by Ritchie. That's one of the tough things. You want your teammates to be able to let you know, hey, there's some pressure coming from behind you as Hale tries to step into one there. Henderson dishes it off to Ritchie, who kicks it into the corner. And that three ball, no good as it hits front iron. This one tipped out, controlled by Hutchinson. They're going to say it's going to stay here with Hammond Central. Wasn't sure if Hutchinson was going to grab that one, but she'll take the inbound as opposed to controlling it there. So Hutchinson across the timeline here. Waiting to get the signal from coach as to which play they want to use. Hunter, who hit a three earlier, had that one blocked up top. Ritchie behind the back. Trying to get across the timeline, does so, gets it ahead for the three-point shot. It's no good, trying to keep this one in here, and a hard fall down underneath. That's for Hale over there. Aggressively trying to save that one. It's all good, though, she says, as Hammond brings it back down here in transition. Hutchinson, as mentioned, going to Howard with the jump shot off the window. No good. Punick giving it to Ritchie. Ritchie with the cut. Drive inside the paint. Teardrop hits the front iron. No good. Rebound comes down to Hart. Hart bringing it up the floor across the timeline. Hart looking for some help. She finds Hutchinson. Hutchinson trying to cross over. Pulls up for the long-range three and knocks it down. Big-time shot there for India Hutchinson. 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Hard contact there as Henderson goes down. Sophie Hart checking into the game for Ava Punick. Let's see here. Looks like Rich coming in as well. That was 4. So Henderson comes off. Inbound to Ritchie at the top of the key. Has some work to do against Hunter. Punick. Grish back to Ritchie, top of the key. Skips it over to the right wing for Grish, who knocks that one down from long range. So they answer with a 3-point bucket of their own. Kennedy Hunter with a big 3 in that first half, and now a foul here. This is likely going to be against Layla Hart, and if it is, that's going to be her 4th, and I believe... Nope, they're going to call it against McGee, so that is her 1st. So that kind of works in favor of Hammond, but the 2nd foul of the quarter already. Because if it was against Hart, that would have been her 4th, which would have been a huge blow there. They do take Hart out of the game, though. But they put 11 on the board. I think they did call that against Layla Hart, and that's why she's coming out of the game. They feed that one down to Punick. I thought I saw the official put a 3 up for that, so I think they put 11 on the board, but I don't think that's right. They're going to say it's an and 1. The field goal is good. And Ava Ritchie will go to the line. We had a push underneath. They're going to say McGee, and that's her 2nd. So maybe they didn't call it against Hutchinson. So the 3-point basket was good for Ritchie. She will go down. So it is a 30-second timeout. We're keeping it right here on the Region Sports Network. And Coach, just trying to get a little clarification. We got a 39-19 score here, and so I think, just trying to get for sure just clarification as to what the call was down there. Yeah, the board still shows McGee with 2 fouls, though, so we'll see how that one plays a factor in the game. Feed right into the middle, and Punick couldn't get that layup to go. And we'll have a foul here against Crown Point, their 1st of the quarter. And that'll be against Ava Punick there. Hutchinson, and it'll be a foul against Grish here now. So just quickly like that, 2 fouls for Crown Point to start things up here in the half. And for Grish, that is her 3rd. She had a little bit of a reach-in foul there. A couple more check-ins for Crown Point. Hammond Central trying to get some momentum going here on their side. Feed into the middle with Spann. Spann kicks this one out, stolen by Ritchie, and Ritchie up off the window and good. What a play by Ritchie to get things going here. Rebound coming down here. Trying to put that one off the back iron. That was for Rowe, and now we'll have a foul here, and I believe this will be against Hammond Central. So So this will be their 4th team foul if it is. Yep. And that'll be against Sonora Span, so that'll be her 3rd. So Ritchie going to bring it up the floor here. Hale skips it into the wing. 3 ball, no good. Hammond Central comes down with the rebound. Here comes Hutchinson across the timeline. She pulls up for 3, steps into that one, tries to bank it home, but won't fall for her. Ritchie gives it to Hale. Left side. Going up against this zone defense here for Hammond Central. Trying to feed it down onto the baseline. Finds a contender down there. That was Leah Menchaca down there. As Hutchinson will have a reach-in foul here against Hale as Hutchinson was trying to drive. So Hale picks up her 2nd foul. That'll be the 3rd of the quarter for Crown Point. So next foul by Hammond Central this quarter, and they will send Crown Point back to the free throw line. Crown Point still has 2 to work with. Or really 1 to work with, because that 5th one is Hutchinson pulls up for 3, hits the iron. Picked up by Ritchie. Hutchinson with the kicked ball there, so it'll stay here with Crown Point. Looking for the inbound pass here. They're going to skip it out to Menchaca. Eventually find Ritchie with it. Matched up against Hunter. Feeding down to Henderson. Almost lost control. Hale able to collect and kick that one out. Nice play. Ritchie able to gather that one. Henderson had it picked off. Nice defense there for Hammond Central. 1:42 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Feed down underneath. Menchaca couldn't get that one to fall. We'll have another foul here, and this will be against Crown Point. Foul is going to be against Ava Ritchie. That's her 1st. We have another foul, and that's going to be against Sydney Hale. And that's going to be Crown Point's 5th, so this sends Hammond Central to the line. So Ava Hutchinson at the free throw line. She's already got 3 points here in this half. She's got 9 on the evening and knocks that one down. Maddie Johnson has checked in for the Bulldogs. So Hutchinson will get 1 more. She's got 10 points, now looking for 11. 95 seconds to go here in the quarter. And she goes 2 for 2 from the line. So Hammond Central tonight, 2 of 4 from the line total. Henderson will have a foul here against Hutchinson, and Hutchinson's going to pick up her 4th. And that'll be the team 5th, so Crown Point will head to the line here. Don't forget Mayor Pete Land, the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving everyday life and history and celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services. and encouraging smart growth. Open skate returns to Timothy Grish Ice Rink at Bulldog Park on Friday, November 28th, weather permitting. For a complete schedule of hours, visit crownpoint.in.gov. First free throw was good for Menchaca. Second was missed, and I believe we have a foul here against Menchaca on the attempt to rebound the basketball. Yes, we do. She went over the back of the player, so we'll go the other way and shoot free throws this way now. So Kennedy Hunter will go to the line. She's got 3 points on the night. The freshman for Hammond Central. Free throw off the window and good. I don't know about you, Zach. In my world, though, as long as it goes to the basket, I don't care how I don't care if it hits everything in the gym before it goes in. As long as it goes in, that's all I care about. That one, pure. 2 for 2 from the line for Kennedy Hunter. Makes this a 42-23 ball game, and now we've got a travel violation here against Crown Point. So, I mentioned turnovers have kind of been the issue for them this evening. Fouls have been the issue for Hammond Central. Biddle looking to inbound. Finds Span in the corner. Back to Biddle. Gives it to McGee. Drives, puts one up. Can't get it to fall, though. Rebound comes down to Menchaca. Wisely stops and finds Ava Ritchie, who is trailing behind. It's fundamentals 101 as Menchaca pulls up from three, hits the back iron. Rebound comes down for Hammond Central. And this one going to be kicked, and we're going to see a blocking foul here. This time it's going to be against Menchaca, I believe, which will result in free throws again for Hammond Central. Yep, second foul against Menchaca. So Hutchinson back to the line. Nope, I take that back. I apologize. Serenity Rowe at the line. Give it Hutchinson a little bit of a breather here this final minute of the third quarter. That free throw down for Rowe. Ritchie gets bumped by Biddle. Can't get that bucket to fall. So Biddle will pick up her second foul. Free throw good for Ritchie. So 2 for 2 from the line. She is 4 of 4 from the charity stripe tonight. Not too bad for Ava Ritchie. Hunter pulling up for three. Can't get that one to fall. Rebound comes down to Seibert. Gives to Ritchie. Looking for Henderson. Right underneath the basket. And Henderson picks up her 6th point of the game. Ava Ritchie, by the way, with 17 points already in this one. Hunter trying to slow things down a little bit. Gives it to Rowe here for 3 points. And gets it to fall. Serenity Rowe with a nice bucket there. Feed down underneath, trying to feed to Henderson. Henderson can't get that one to go. Biddle comes down with the rebound. 5 seconds to go. Hunter doesn't see the time. Trying to turn up against Ritchie and throws that one up. I don't know if that would have been good if it went. I don't think it was, but the quarter comes to an end regardless. 27 for Hammond, 46 for Crown Point. We got 1 quarter to go. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here with you from Crown Point High School. Zach Zanelli alongside working the production. Martin Murillo doing the camera work, doing a fine job here this evening. Zach, you're doing all right too, not too bad. Start of the fourth quarter here in Crown Point between the Bulldogs and Hammond Central. Hammond Central's next meeting is a conference opponent in East Chicago Central. I'll double check if that's going to be at Hammond or at the Barado Center. This one blocked and out of bounds. That one will be at the Barado Center on the 20th. Always fun going to the Barado Center out in East Chicago. I had mentioned at the start of this evening before introductions and everything, as Hutchinson spins, fires, can't get that one to fall. Rebound, there's going to be a little bit of a squirm for that one, and it's going to be picked up by Hunter, who floats one up. Can't get that one to go. Hutchinson trying for one, keeps her arm straight up in the air, doesn't want to get called for another foul. She's currently playing with 4. Richie stops in the paint, gives up underneath. That's Punick. Punick gets her own rebound, still can't get it to go, gets a rebound again, and puts that one in. Third time's the charm for Ava Punick. Drive kicks into the corner. And now they're knocked down for Hunter. Richie pulling up for 3 and answers. She's got 20 points on the evening. Hunter up against Richie. Sophomore against freshman, so that'll be a battle we could see in the future. And we'll have a timeout taken by Hammond Central. We will step aside. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Crown Point, Hammond Central battling here on a Saturday evening. Hutchinson will inbound. Gives it up to Hart. Back to Hutchinson. Hart driving to her left, driving into the lane, tries to throw one up, hoping for a whistle there, doesn't get it. Hale skips it across the floor, puts it nicely in there by Seibert. Seibert with her first points of the game. She's done a lot of work underneath. We're going to call a push here against Crown Point. And the foul is going to be against Ivy Henderson. That'll be her first of the game. Looking to inbound here on the baseline. Throwing up the shot. Can't give that one a fall. Ava Ritchie goes coast to coast and puts that one home. 23 points on the evening for Ava Ritchie. She averages 16 a game. So she's well over that mark there as Hutchinson gets herself a basket as well. Stepping through, Punic with the Euro step there. We'll have a foul, and they're going to say in the act of shooting. This one will likely be against McGee, I believe. Wait to see what number they post up there. And that's going to be her third of the game. Yep, going to be McGee. Don't forget, we got awards to hand out at the end of this one. Punic goes 1 of 2 from the line. 3 points on the night for Punic, the junior. That basket up and good. Langhans gives it up, Hale. Henderson feeding down low. There's going to be a scrum here, and the ball going to stay here with the Bulldogs. And we're going to have a whistle going the other way here against the Bulldogs. So Hammond Central will control here. Just under 5 minutes left to go in this one. We mentioned we got awards we're going to hand out. We got the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. We're proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. Rowe thought about the three, stepped away there. There's going to be a traveling violation against Rowe there. We got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game. Earned while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And then, of course, the Proud Union Home Play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. For more information on the apprenticeship program, as Henderson puts that one up, check out ironworkers395.com. 8 points for Henderson tonight, 6 of them coming here in the second half. Hutchinson at the free throw line, kicks it out. McGee skips it over to Rowe. Rowe for 3, hits the back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Langhans. This one taken up by Hutchinson, who is able to put that one back home. Hutchinson trying to get her hand in that passing lane there. That's one thing that Hammond Central was able to do really well in that first half, was anticipate those passing lanes. That's why Crown Point had so many turnovers, was intercepting those passing lanes and ensuring that they weren't clean. Crown Point had to clean up those passes a little bit. Feed into the post, now to Henderson, off the glass a little too strong. Hutchinson feeding it down to Rowe. Rowe trying to gather, can she keep it? It gets sent right to the hands of Langhans, who gives it up to Henderson. Henderson skips it up to Hale, who puts it right in. Not much Hutchinson can do on that one. It's one of those tough plays when you got the 2-on-1. Fundamentally, not much different she could have done there. She kind of committed to one side, maybe just a little bit. Skips that one into the corner. McGee. Nice pass there from Hutchinson, by the way, as Hart pulls up long range. Hunter trying for that rebound. Good effort there from Kennedy Hunter to try to come up with that one. Sling hands. Just bringing it up the floor. Seibert trying to make the pass inside into Menchaca. Couldn't get it done cleanly. Pass into the corner, long range. This was blocked up top by Hutchinson. Nice play for Hutchinson to block that one. Not sure if that would have been a 3 or a 2. I think that foot was on the line. Coach Stengel calling up the plays. Coach Stengel, long history on the boys' side of the basketball over at Hanover and state championship with Andrean as well. Skipping this one out to Hart. Linghands trying to feed it down at the baseline. Strong defense there from Hammond Central, though. I believe Addison Childress has just checked into the game for Hammond Central as well. Inbound beyond the three-point arc there. Linghands trying to give it to Seibert. Had it stolen away. Hart feeds it to Childress, who looks ahead. Gets it to McGee. Stops at the left block. Too strong. Gathers a rebound. Tries to go back up, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2 on that attempt. Oh, the foul going to be on Sophie Hart. That'll be her second of the game. First free throw for McGee is good. She's 1 of 3 from the line tonight. And looking for attempt number 2 here. And we're going to have a lane violation, so it wouldn't have been good anyway. It's Crown Point ball here with just under 2:30 left to go in this contest. This one up for Menchaca, couldn't get that one to fall. Crown Point comes down with the rebound, though. Blocked up top. Nice move from Hutchinson. So a little stop and pop for Menchaca. That one was Amaya Menchaca. McGee stops at that block again, puts it up, and she'll go back to the line. Nice little jump stop there for McGee. Attention to little details, and that's something like that. Sometimes people on the run trying to make the layup just go a little too strong because they have too much momentum going. She's stopping that momentum by having that jump stop and waiting for the defense to clear by and then trying to put it right home. Defense doesn't blow by, though. They just stay right there and foul her on her way up. So either way, it works out. She goes to the line. Knocks that first one down. 2:06 left to go as she knocks the second one down. So 3 of 6 from the line tonight. This one's stolen away by Hart. Skips it, but taken right back by Crown Point. It fell right in the hands of Sophie Hart as Menchaca drives. She stops, puts it right home First field goal of the game for Leah Menchaca. Hutchinson pulls up for three and knocks it down. Hutchinson, her shot so pure. 7 points here in this fourth quarter alone. Little steal here for McGee. Stops, puts it up. This time it's an and one. Foul, by the way, is going to be on Maya Menchaca, her third of the game. $18 points, by the way, for India Hutchinson tonight. Here's the and one shot for McGee. Can't get the old-fashioned three-point play. Skips that one out. Menchaca trying to gather that one, trying to put that one up. No good. Rebound comes down to McGee. Final 1:20 left to go in this one as Hutchinson stops that left block, puts up the floater. Iron, no good. Give down the floor to Langhans as she brings it up the floor. From that right block, turns, kicks it out. Grish for three. Hits the front iron. Rebound comes down to Hutchinson. Might have a double-double. Might have enough rebounds. That double-double. Span pulls up from three. Just off the mark. Childress tries for the rebound. Hunter in there to try to get the jump ball. But Langhand's able to hold on, but it'll be a jump ball, so it'll stay here with Hammond Central as they get the possession arrow. Not sure who's going to pass this one in. It'll be Span to pass it in. Gives it to Childress. Now to Hunter. McGee here. Driving free throw line. Stops and pops. A little too strong off the window. To give here to Langhans. We're under 30 seconds to go in this contest. Final 20. Hammond Central wants to walk away. No more fouls in this contest. Mentioned last year Hammond Central had this one 49-45 as Johnson is able to hit that jumper. So she gets in the scoring column here in this final waning seconds. Kicks it out, Childress, puts it up for three. Probably good if it goes, and just off the mark. And the final here from Crown Point, 64-44. So a 20-point game to win it for Crown Point. We're going to step aside. We'll bring you our award winners on the other side of the break. You are watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Don't forget Mayor Pete Land and Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Open Skate returns to Timothy Grish Ice Rink at Bulldog Park on Friday, November 28th, weather permitting. For a complete schedule of hours, visit crownpoint.in.gov. Final here from the Hub City. It is Crown Point 64, Hammond Central 44. Leading scorer tonight, Ava Ritchie with 22 points, followed by Ava Punick with 9 for the Crown Point Bulldogs, and then Ivy Henderson and Sydney Hale both had 8 as well. For Hammond Central, leading scorer was India Hutchinson with 18, and then Kennedy Hunter followed up with 10. So nice job by both teams getting the points that they needed to try to get this victory tonight. It was Crown Point who got the victories. One thing that definitely going to be had for both these teams are going to go back, look at the film, and try to figure out where they need to improve. For Hammond Central, trying to cut down on the fouls. For Crown Point, cutting down on the turnovers, maybe stronger passes, things like that. Both areas to clean up. Just a couple of things to think about for teams as we get further and further into the season. Just starting things up, though. So Crown Point improves to 3-0 on this young season. Hammond Central 1-4. Again, young on the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at our award winners for tonight. For the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, they have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. We're going to go with Ava Ritchie, the young sophomore, with 22 points on the contest for tonight. Also did a great job controlling the ball and bringing it up at the point position as well. So nice job by Ava Ritchie tonight for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Only had 1 foul as well, and a few rebounds to go with those points along with it. And then the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. I'm going to go with India Hutchinson on this one, obviously with 18, but also really doing her best to control the game the best that they can for Hammond Central. Did a great job trying to just bring it up the floor and try to control and keep the pace the way they wanted it to try to get something going on momentum-wise on their side. So India Hutchinson, your Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. And then our proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union iron worker. We're going to go back to the third quarter with about 3:40-ish left to go in that third quarter. We saw a steal from Ava Hutchinson that led to the bucket that really kind of just felt like that was the seal of the deal, kind of putting the final nail in the proverbial coffin to kind of end this one and kind of keep it out of reach for Hammond Central in that third quarter, just kind of putting the game away at that point for the Crown Point Bulldogs. So that was another steal and bucket for Ava Ritchie in that third quarter. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our operations manager, Rich Castillo. Our sales manager is Heather Ames. Coordinating producer is Zach Miller. Sports director is Mike Dewan. Your broadcast crew tonight, myself, Michael Brander, along with, well, it was just myself. I had Zach Zanelli doing the production, Martin Murillo doing the camera work as well. Big thanks to our coaches, obviously, for tonight. We got Coach Stengel, then, of course, Coach Kermil as well for Hammond Central, Stengel for Crown Point. Then, of course, our athletic directors as well for both schools, respectively. Thank you very much for getting us everything we needed for these games tonight. And, of course, you, the viewers, wherever you may be watching, on the HSA Champions Network, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it might be that you are tuned in. Thank you very much for watching. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without you all, so thank you very much. Stay tuned. Plenty more coming up this next week as we get ready for semi-state for high school football and more girls basketball action coming your way. And wrestling as well, if I remember correctly as well, looking at the schedule. So plenty of action coming your way on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.